Why most people learning a language find themselves quitting? They start buying a book, a grammar book, pay online resources, and then they quit. Are you one of them? You start learning a language, you find the first obstacle, and then you say to yourself, nah, that's not for me, and you give up. Well, today I'm going to share with you a process so that quitting becomes impossible. You saw someone speaking Chinese and you found that cool, and you want to do the same. You want to learn the language. And we all start with this kind of motivation. I want to travel, it's good for my career, I love the culture, etc. But this surface level reason will blow up at the first obstacle when learning gets difficult. You listen to a content you don't understand, or maybe you read a text with too many unknown words and it's too difficult. And then you got frustrated and you give up. And you ask yourself, why I'm doing all of that? And that's the problem. Without a very personal, deep why, every grammar rule will become a torture. Every plateau will become a wall. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact framework to dig deeper and to find your personal and unshakable why. You can ask yourself this following question in order to define your why. For me, the first question you should ask yourself is, okay, I want to learn a language. Is it because I saw someone speaking it and I found that cool, I want to do the same? Or is it really something that I want within me? I can tell an example regarding chess. If I am looking at YouTube video on people playing chess, I'm going to find that very cool. And maybe I would like to learn how to play chess and after maybe improve my level. But these reasons are not really inner reason for me, they are outside reason. Because I saw someone playing chess outside, but deep down, is it something that I really want? If I ask myself this question honestly, the answer is going to be no. The second question you can ask yourself is very simple. It's just, why do I want to learn a language? But to answer the question, I highly recommend you to take a piece of paper and note it down on the paper the main reason why you want to learn a language. And the more reason you have, the better your why is going to be. Then ask yourself, what level do I want to reach? Do you want just to travel in the country for, I don't know, a few weeks and you just have to learn some basic stuff, or you just want to know how to grab coffee in this target language? Or do you have more ambition? You want to be able to speak with native speakers, or you want to be able to listen to some content online because you like the language. There is some cultural aspect that you want to dig, and for that you want to learn the language. What level do you want to reach? Okay, so if you know now what level you are aiming for in this language, ask yourself, how many time can I spare per week? Because if you want to learn a language, but in the reality you don't have like even 30 minutes in front of you per week, spoiler, this is not going to happen. By asking yourself this question, you make it possible or not in your daily life. And I think this personally was one of my problems when I started learning Korean. I didn't know which level I wanted to reach, and I studied when I have time, but I didn't plan ahead like, okay, this week I can maybe work 4 hours or 5 hours, or maybe not, or maybe just 1 hour. And this will change your study plan at the very core basis. I've done the exercise for myself, and here is my results. Okay, so now I am in front of my computer. I made the exercise of finding my why for learning Korean, and I'm going to share with you the results, my reason. So the first question, if you remember, is why do I want to learn Korean? Or why do you want to learn the language, the target language you want? For me, I have 4 reasons. The first one is the intellectual challenge. To prove to myself that even if I am a European guy, I want to learn an Asian language that is not similar at all with English or French. I can do it. I can put the efforts I need in order to reach this fluency level. Also, in a few years, I would like to spend 6 months in Korea, and if I am fluent, I will feel like home. I want to be like if I am in France. I can go out, speak to people in a very easy way. I can make friends. I think this experience will be unique. So it's bringing me to the third point, make unforgivable memories. I think when you speak a language of another country, you live experiences that you cannot live when you cannot speak this language. I remember a story of a guy when I was listening to a Korean podcast, and he was saying that he learned Korean, he reached a fluency level, and he was able to speak with celebrities, with people that he couldn't speak with if he didn't speak this language. So I'm not saying that I want to speak to celebrity, but definitely I think this will change my trip. And to finish, it will be for my personal development. I'm sure when you launch yourself in a project, will it be learning a language or I don't know, launching a business or a YouTube channel, you are going to learn a lot of things about yourself, about a lot of skills on your persistence to do things, to put the efforts you want to reach your objectives. And I'm sure that this journey of learning Korean will help me a lot with that. The second question is, what level do I want to reach? I want to speak like a native speaker, like I said, like having an advanced level, to be able to speak fluently, to be understood by Koreans, and when they speak, to understand them. This will be the main goal for the level. Also, understanding Korean people on a variety of subjects, so this is linked to the first point. And also, if I am at home, if I want to listen to podcasts, watch video, dramas, with a subtitle, it will be so easy that it will be like French or English. How much time can I spare? So right now, according to my situation, I can easily spend 1 hour a day and 7 hours a week. So this is some average. Usually I try to study every day. So essentially active listening, this is the main input that I'm working on and I put my focus on. And also I'm doing also a lot of passive listening. So this is like when I'm doing something with my hands, I put my earplugs and then I listen to content that I already listen without paying so much attention on the understanding. So according to your situation, you can and you must give yourself an amount of time per week or per day, or maybe you can say, okay, like in the following month, I'm going to have plenty of time. Maybe that's the time for me to put some efforts on learning this language. And it will help you a lot with your journey when you are going to reach some difficulties, and you will. Okay, and now how do you reconnect to your real why when you begin to have some difficulties in your learning journey? Let's say you start studying for content and you reach a difficulty. Maybe there are too many words you don't understand and that demotivates you. You have some thoughts like, this is not for me, maybe I should quit. And actually, this can happen. There are your emotions that are actually speaking to you. And so, how do you manage these moments? Because your emotion will be like weather. You will have some days where everything is going to be fine. You are going to work on your language and you're going to love it. And other days, you will maybe not be in the mood. You will have some difficulties and you have to cope with this moment in order to keep the momentum during your learning journey. You can have two solutions when you encounter this difficulty. The first one is to remember why you are learning this language. Okay, you think as the person you want to become. In a few years or maybe in a few months I will be in the country, and for me this is going to be very important to know this language at maybe an intermediate level. And if you have this image in mind, all the difficulties at the present moment are going to vanish. You are going to build your muscle. And this is like a muscle. The more you think about your why, the more it becomes stronger and the less you are going to doubt about yourself. And especially when you are learning a language, when you have a difficult content, this is very challenging for you. You will go through that. The second solution is actually to use an anti-vision. What is an anti-vision? It's to imagine a version of yourself in the future that is not speaking the language. This works too because you imagine someone you don't want to become, and that triggers a fear or some bad emotions that push you to do the right action right now. Here is my anti-vision. If I don't speak Korean, if I travel, I could not interact with people and have very deep conversation with them. I will not challenge myself and prove that I can learn a very different language from English or French. I could not inspire people to learn languages because if I stop, how can I inspire people? And these reasons are my anti-vision. If I stay at home and I do nothing, I don't want to become this person. I want to be a person that can speak naturally. Okay, you learn how a long time Korean, you listen to a lot of content and now you can speak. This will build my self-confidence. And so according to what resonates the most for you, will it be remembering your why or building your anti-vision, writing your anti-vision and remembering it when you learn a language? This is going to help you to keep the momentum and the motivation during your language learning journey. Okay, so now you can cope with the difficulties by remembering your why during your language learning journey and the difficult times. But what can you do when you learn a language, when you actually reach a difficulty in your daily practice? There is also another aspect that is important when you learn a language, and this is in your daily practice. When you find yourself losing focus on your daily routine, this is because what you are studying is not adapted for your level. In these moments, you have to focus yourself on the solutions and not the problems. The solution will be, okay, maybe this content is too difficult for me. There are too many words I cannot understand. Fine. I will choose the content that is easier, and that's okay. I don't judge myself. I will build my skills with the time. And when you are actually learning a content that is difficult, but you can deal with that, this is going to build your self-confidence as well, and you're going to improve in this language. Or it can be like, okay, I don't have any opportunity to speak the language. I'm living in my country. I don't know anyone who can speak the language. Fine, that's okay. But don't focus on the problem. Focus rather on the solution. Okay, I cannot, for now, I don't have any partner to speak the language. I'm going to find this partner. You have plenty of websites, or you can even hire a tutor. I'm sure you can find solutions in order to do what you want with this language. So you have to keep this mindset of focusing on the solution too in order to keep you improving in this language. Okay, in order to conclude, remember that your why should be very strong. It will help you during your learning journey to remain unshakable among all the difficulties you are going to encounter. I hope this video gave you some insight on how to define your why and how to use it during your learning journey when you have to cope with the difficulties you are going to encounter. If you like this video, please give me a like, support me, or subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for the next video. See you soon, guys. Bye.